Give him praise in the highest. He is worthy. Yes, he is worthy of all of our praise. I'll praise you anywhere. Yes, I will. All day, every day. Giving it to Jesus. Throwing my hands up and giving it all to him. It's a beautiful thing. What better way to start this podcast? Episode numero 24. That's 14 in Espanol. If you didn't know, now ya know. Comprende? Sí, sí, señores and señoritas. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Ashley Amber, aka Bubbles. I am the Bubbles, and I am missing my sweetest bestie, Sunshine, who is normally accompanying me on this podcast adventure. But she has been called to take care of her mama who has dementia. So she is delving into the caretaker role. And doing that full time. I mean, what a beautiful blessing to be able to take care of your mother as she has took care of her over the years. So the fact that she is making that a number one priority has got so much love and deep respect in my book. Just know, Sunshine, that you are here with me always in my heart. And I am praying for you, sister. And I know you are a warrior goddess. And this is nothing that God can't see you through. So please, for all of you that know and love and adore Sunshine, like people in our High Vibe tribe, keep her in your prayers. Lift up a sister because she could sure use a little extra support and encouragement right now as she's navigating these times and paths, which has left me the solo ranchera here. Well, that, and I have my sweet Chai Hua Hua, Miss Ruby Doobie, who is just trying to take a nap on my lap. And she's like, Mom, gosh, why do you always gotta be pulling me around like a little dolly? Because she is my dolly. She loves to love me. Oh, she's just such an angel. She gives me so many kisses and I love it. Oh, Robitsobe. And she is all of 5 pounds, 10 years young. And I just couldn't be more excited. So I am not alone. I am never alone because, you know, I have the Holy Spirit inside of me, but I also have this sweet angel baby on my lap. Just know she's there. So when she pops up from time to support, and I tell face, and I just couldn't be more obsessed with her. Also, she keeps things interesting with my puppy, Rip, my West Highland Terrier, who's 7 months and has been ripping around the farm. I just love to watch him go around the farm. He is like digging in the dirt. He is digging for worms or God only knows what, but it is so much fun to watch that sweet boy rip around the farm. He's right over here taking his nap because we were just out in the fields harvesting all the wonderful plant goodness. And I wanted to do a little show and tell with you. I had to show this baby off, you guys. So harvest season is still underway here, trying to get as much as possible in, drying and curing while before the frost, although these plants are frost resistant. But check out these buds. I mean, this is such a beautiful baby here. And I just love to, again, sing her praises because she's so beautiful and green and lush and happy. And you guys, this is plant medicine. So you can dry it and use it, ingest it, consume it however you see fit. There's tons of different ways to oils, topicals, edibles, smokables, different ways to consume. So you can supplement your endocannabinoid system. You don't know what your endocannabinoid system is? I highly, highly recommend that you look it up on any search engine. Specifically, Google is one that I used, or you can ask that one of your AI buddies. What is that? Not Siri, Gemini, on Google. She knows all the answers and she has a lot of research to back it up too. So you guys, endocannabinoid system, it still floors me every single time I talk about this plant and why it's important. We get down to the roots, down to the basics, and we talk about our endocannabinoid system and people look at me like, what is your endocannabinoid system? And I'm like, yes. And then I take a deep breath and let it go and breathe it out and be like, let them find out for themselves what it is, because it really is a personal adventure. Shall you choose to forgo this path? But good news is that our good Lord and Mother Nature has so many options for you, other than hemp or cannabis. There's so many other plant allies out there because she always provides. But I just have to sing her praises every time. And you guys, harvest season comes and goes. So come November, I will not have these big, beautiful, bodacious buds. And it's going to be a sad time, because as much as I love harvest season and going out and snipping these wonderful colas, it doesn't last very long. It's like a 2-week window, maybe 3 weeks if you're lucky. And then things start, progressing, and you get more into bud rot and things. So you really got to get while the getting is good. So don't mind me while I show off my beautiful buds that I just so generously and graciously love to share with my loved ones, with my High Vibe tribe. Check out our natural pharmacy, DNAHempLLC.com, who graciously sponsors this Sunshine and Bubbles podcast and is woven into the divine mission and purpose of what we're sharing here today. I digress. Should we keep talking about hemp? Can I get a thumbs up if that's a yes? Okay, because I love talking about hemp, and I have a lot to talk about hemp. This is a little bit farther along into the show, but I think it's suiting to tell it now, seeing as how I'm showing off these beautiful buds. Where should I put it? I still want it like in the screen. Maybe I'll just like let it rest right here. Something like that. That'd be great. So, you guys, there was a meeting downtown Milwaukee about marijuana and legislation and where it should all go. And I love that our good friend Philip Scott from WIFMA, Wisconsin Hemp Manufacturers Association, was there representing this sector and talking about what that legislation looks like and what it needs to be moving forward to best suit our Wisconsin constituents. Because as y'all know, everything around us is legalized, except it seems like we're on an island of prohibition here. 40 states are either fully legalized for medicinal or recreational or have a medicinal program, and yet Wisconsin is still holding out. Why? We can't be sure. I think it's politics as usual. But I have been in communication with our Senator Dan Knodel and talking, like kind of shaping what the regulation of hemp-derived cannabinoid products looks like. And they're dubbing that HDC products. So hemp-derived cannabinoid products, what does that look like? And they're calling for, age restrictions, truth in labeling, products standards, secure placements, tax and enforcements, and what that all could be and develop into, which are all wonderful subjects that need to be talked about so we can best protect our consumers and our growers alike. And so that was the voice that I was breathing into on the subject matter and the area of expertise, because I feel really strongly about, what this needs to look like, because part of the hemp pilot program was to benefit our hemp farmers. And it seems that with all the red tape and restrictions, yes, we are able to grow this beautiful plant medicine, but it really has been the wild, wild Midwest, as it seems like some people are bending the rules and anything goes. And who's regulating this show anyways? So they want to model it after the 3-tier alcohol distribution program, which is all fine, great, and dandy when it comes to selling alcohol, but maybe not for hemp, because it gives that 3-tier levels from the grower to the to the distributor, the grower to the manufacturer to the distributor. And by the time you get to distribution, then finally to the consumer, it's sometimes it can only play for big companies, big pharma, essentially, and putting the small grower, the small scale business like me out of business after all of those hoops and hurdles and regulations to jump through. And it just seems like makes my head swim of reading through that bill and what they're proposing and all the things that I as a grower have to do. So I propose a tier 0 exemption for the farmer, where we would not have to go through the strict regulations that a manufacturer would and processor would have to forego when they are actually making the physical products. As the hemp farmer, I just want to grow excellent buds and do what I do best, and then pass that on to a manufacturer processor so they can deliver and make and procure these products and deliver that to a distributor then that would give it to all that who wants it. And so to help reduce costs, that farmer-processor relationship needs to be simplified, and that's what I was explaining to Senator Dan Knodel. And I was also going for an exemption for direct sales. So let's say that I did just want, as a small scale business, if I was underneath a sales or revenue threshold, I could do direct sales to you online and keep doing what I'm doing and not try to make a big, huge national brand and what that looks like. So kind of exempt the small guy here who just wants to do a farm to table type operation and not have to go through the stringent strict regulations that they are proposing that seems to put me at dis-ease as a hemp grower. Also, I want to streamline the testing and label for approval, because in that bill, it was a whole cluster of what you got to do to get your plant tested and then labeling, and there was a wait period, and it just really didn't seem to add up on what actually is happening on the farm. So keep in the know. I did send out quite a lengthy email, and she is the lady Danielle that I was in communication with is going to send that to other representatives of our great Wisconsin state, and hopefully they can put their heads together and figure out something that's going to work for all parties involved, because this is for just the current program that's happening here. And I think that the THCA products has got a lot of people scratching their head and wondering what the heck's going on with this anyways. And so they want to kind of tighten up that legislation and make sure that all their bases are covered so that consumers can get really safe and wonderful products that you're so used to. So it's a wonderful thing. It's progress. Of course, even to have these conversations and be a part of it is a huge privilege, and I am super proud to be able to do so and represent all the hemp farmers out there forward, as we just want to do what we love and have our passion be present. And so I'm going to be here now, and we're not looking back of all the wrongdoing, but I really want to stay forward focused of what the future holds for us, and make sure that this plant medicine can be accessible for people that rely on it to improve their quality of life. So it's a wonderful thing, and I'm trying to just stay really positive about it. But a lot of meetings, a lot of conversations, a lot of things happening, but I seem to hardly have any time because things on the farm are crazy. We're getting ready for winter here. Miss Winter is fastly approaching, and she is non-forgiving. So I feel like I've been running around the farm trying to winterize everything. What do you guys do to winterize your garden? Some people would say, just leave it and let nature do its work, which, hey, that's a beautiful theory, but some things that I have been doing is I have a lot of perennial plants that come back year after year in grow pots because they haven't quite found their forever home in the ground. So I went around and collected all of my grow pots on the farm to secure the perennials' future here on the farm, and brought them inside of our hoop house where it's a little bit warmer. I'm going to keep them on the ground where it can get that ground heat. I'm going to cluster them all together so they can keep each other warm as possible, and let them go dormant then for the winter season. I'm even going to go as far as to cover them with a plastic cover to kind of create even a further greenhouse effect, keep the warmth in there, and then water them about once a month. I'll try to really remember, but it is hard marching my happy buns down to that hoop house that is so cold, especially here in Wisconsin when it can get to the negative degree temperatures consistently for months at a time. But we shall survive. So gathering the grow pots. Then also I like to decorate our farm. I have a ton of Nomi homies and like cute little ornaments and decorations that I make the garden beds a happy place and make me smile. And a lot of them have been gifts from loved ones that have been passed on over the years. So pretty much the rule of thumb is that anything that you do not want to get ruined out there in the elements, scoop that up and bring that in somewhere where the snow is not going to get it. So I also been doing that. That didn't take too much time, but hey, it's something that's got to get done. And so check and check. We did that. We secured our Nomi homies and all the crystals and all the high vibing awesomeness out there. And they are now into their winter hibernation mode. And I call me crazy, but I like to keep them all together. Like I feel like they might have a secret language that they talk to each other or vibe with. So they're all together and they can keep each other warm throughout these winter months too. And I'll make sure that they're bright and happy and shiny come spring. And it always brings me so much joy to put them back outside with their plant buds and watch each other grow. Who knows what the vibrations and conversations are had there. It's really quite cool. Also, this just in today on the farm, I finally, I feel like I've been talking about doing this for a hot minute. I planted my garlic bulbs, my garlic garlic cloves. What I did is I bought the organic garlic bulbs from the farmer's market and I picked out about 20 bulbs and I separated the bulbs into each clove and made sure that they were ready to go. Put them in my sweet little basket. Took them to a raised bed. Normally I plant them in our field, but I haven't had a lot of success with that. And I don't know if it's just I'm not watering enough or fertilizing it. I'm not quite sure. So I'm trying something new this year and I'm going to plant them in a raised bed. I picked out the perfect raised bed and I treated the soil with bone meal, which was a trick that the garlic farmers who had bushels and bushels and bushels of garlic, that's local here. That was the key that they told me for success is supplement the soil with bone meal. So I did just that and worked that into the soil and then dug about a 5-inch trench into the soil. And I put the pointy side of the clove up and like the rooted side down and kind of plugged those right in the ground with some good spacing, about 3 inches in between, and tucked them in real nice with the dirt and said a hope and a prayer. And hopefully come June, July, I have some wonderful garlic and I will keep those watered and I will use some organic fertilizer, maybe a compost tea to kind of keep them and make sure I have some big, juicy, delicious garlic bulbs. I mean, garlic really is like the gift that keeps on giving. I love to infuse honey with it. And I also use garlic a ton in my cooking. So why not grow it for myself? But, maybe one day I won't have to get the garlic bulbs from the farmers at the farmers market and I could just save some of my own that I grew and replant those. That is goals, but step by step, day by day, I will take it one day at a time. So it's always an exciting time to plant things. And then on a hope and a prayer, they'll be coming up for spring. I also planted some onion sets as well. So, I normally would plant onions in the spring, but I was like, hey, it's a bulb the same as garlic, and they tell garlic to plant in fall, just before the end of October here in Zone 5. So I'm going to try onions too and see what happens. I mean, talking about messing around and finding out. That's what we're doing. So felt really good to accomplish that and check that off the list of things to do for the winter because it's been on my mind. I also, been clearing out the soil on some of the raised beds down there. So I have some open soil to do some winter sowing. I'm still not quite sure. Can someone help me out? Sowing. Well, I'm sure someone will let me know down the road, but, I felt really good too to have some open soil so I can sprinkle seeds when the winter sowing comes to be because in years past I felt unprepared and I'm like, I don't have any open beds. I have no idea where I'm going to put this open seed. And so you just end up sprinkling it some random spot. And sometimes it works, but here I am prepared. I'm feeling more prepared for winter than I ever have before. So little pat on the back part of me. So things are all coming together here on the farm. And this week, too, I had a beehive situation. So as I kind of alluded to last week, we did lose one of our 2 hives to starvation because of the cold snap, and it took away all of the flower source, which was their nectar source, to store up their honey for the winter. And one of our hives did indeed succumb to the cold snap, and yellow jackets decided to move on in. And then with the yellow jackets, apparently they coexist with mice, because they started making a full-on nest in the beehive that had RIP'd. So I seen the Don from Honeygrove Perry's, which to him, he's like the bee master. He is like 5th generation beekeeper and just a wealth of knowledge. And I was like, Don! I was like, the yellow jackets are moving into the hive, and so are the mice. And he's like, and you left it out there? You left it out in the field? And I'm like, well, yeah, I didn't know what to do. He's like, oh, those mice are just gonna wreak havoc on that hive. He's like, you want to get that out and bring it in for the winter. And I was like, oh, okay. So, and I was like, but the yellow jackets, like, they're out there. I know I'm like in a bee suit, but they're quite a bit more aggressive than your honeybee. So I definitely didn't want to go around while they were out and active. And he's like, go on Tuesday when it's 40 degrees. He's like, that should take care of it. So I did just that. I didn't quite bring out the smoke. I didn't need the smoke out there. But I did fully suit up because I was not taking any chances with those yellow jackets or even the mice. And so I suited up, went out there. I had Ripley as my co-companion since Nixon wasn't there to help me with the smoke. I didn't need the smoke anyway. So went out there, and sure enough, I like dismantled the hive, and like, I swear probably 10 to 15 mice just scattered when I like took off the boxes and like kind of tapped them down, and the mice just went, and that didn't bother me. I was like, okay, the mice, but then the yellow jackets were still in there. So very calmly and peacefully, and I was actually pretty proud of myself. Just, brought the brood boxes down into the hoop house, and I dismantled them, and I put them all in Tupperware containers with some mothballs so mice don't make a nest inside of Tupperware containers with those hives, because for some reason they just love them. So we prevented any of that happen, and I feel safe and secure that the hive is now in a good position, because I will probably get another queen bee and get that hive going again next year. So I secured the hive, and things are also winterized and looking good as far as the bee equipment and supplies go. They are nice and safe in the hoop house, and things went really good. And it felt wonderful. I just kind of, took my time, listened to some good music, and I think I even made like a time lapse and shared it on social media. But people were like, why is she still in her suit? Like, this is a dead hive. It's empty. Because there were yellow jackets in there, and I was not taking any chances, because again, yellow jackets are a lot more aggressive than honeybees, even though they were pretty sleepy and docile this time because it was cold outside. But the sting does not feel good. I feel like it swells up and hurts even more than a honeybee sting. So I was not taking any chances, but just in case, I had my balm on hand. I was all suited up, and I wasn't taking any chances. So not today, yellow jackets, not today. And I went by unscathed. And so little by little, that just keeps bringing up my confidence. And also I put on some mite treatments on the existing hive as well, and checked on their feed, and things are looking really good. I put the little hive cover down below so the wind can't breeze in there. And then next week, I'll go ahead and feed them again with the simple syrup sugar water, and probably put a jacket on the hive as well to keep that hive nice and toasty, and it's protected from the wind. And I also put a stick underneath the hive to kind of drain out any water that might collect in there from the rain, so nothing drowns or gets moldy, even though bees kind of have their way of working through nature, and that is a beautiful thing. So update on our beehive situation. It is a whole vibe. It is preparation. It is love, and it is tender love and care. that we put in there. And I'm happy to share that with you. So if you're thinking about being a beekeeper, these are things that you need to know. And I would recommend doing a bee journal as well and documenting the times, because you think you're going to remember these things. You really do. You think that, over the years you will remember. And, I bet some people do. And kudos to them. But I am not one of those person. I have to write that down, and repetition kind of really helps. But thank goodness I have some of the best bee mentors that can help. And Sunshine is a wealth of knowledge on there too, whether she likes to admit it or not. So I can always call my bestie and be like, Sunshine, what do we do? Because she's still in on this, and I'm just here in the interim taking care of business while she does as well. So that was a lot, but all really good things. I wanted to share a mantra with you, and I was supposed to do this in the beginning, but here I am now. And that has been in the back of my head, and I've been really thinking about this a lot. This word, and with this word comes a lot of meaning, and a lot of different meaning to different people depending on your background and your experiences, and that is redeemed. Redeemed. So I want you just to think about redemption, or redeemed, or to redeem, and what you think that means. And I feel like a lot of people would think that to redeem is to exchange for something. Like, I redeem this coupon, and when I give you this coupon, I get a discount back, and that was a redemption. I always think of Bob Marley and the Wailers and Redemption Song. These songs of freedom is all I ever have. Redemption song. Oh, so goodness. But as I've been delving deeper into the Bible, the redeemed is a constant theme that comes up. And so I just wanted to do a deeper dive in kind of what that means. And, when you look it up, it means to be compensated for faults and to make amends. So if you redeem yourself, it's you're compensating your fault, or redeeming yourself to make amends, or to gain possession of something in exchange for payment, kind of like that coupon deal. To fulfill or carry out, to redeem, to be saved from sin, or to exchange. So really touching on the retrieving, the restoring, and the fulfilling aspect of redemption. And I know that I am redeemed. And, I read that in the Bible. I've been told that before. And I was like, well, what does that mean to be redeemed? And honestly, it's the deliverance of the power of sin. So we are all in sin nature. We are sinners into our core. We are only human, for crying out loud. But by Jesus dying on the cross, he has paid the price for you and I salvation. And therefore we've been redeemed. And I just feel like that just feels so liberating and freeing and empowering and all these beautiful, wonderful things. And I just wanted to share that with you, because I see in my side quests and in my journeys and in my experiences, when I pull my head out of the Bible and into the real world, I find myself searching, and I talk to my community members that are also searching, and everybody's looking for something. And I'm here to tell you the good news that your search and your wait is over the day that you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and your Savior, because you are redeemed. He has paid the price for your sin in exchange for his body, according to God's master plan. So I feel like every time I'm in sin nature, when I have those dirty thoughts, when I say or do things that I normally should not have done, or it goes against the commandments, I forgive myself, because I am forgiven, because I am redeemed, and I have the restoration of the right relationship with God. And so I just feel like that, again, is just empowering, liberating, and I love the the encouragement behind the word redeemed, because the price has already been paid. So quit searching. All you need to do is look up and say a prayer and, get that source, that energy, that divine insight downloaded into you and into your heart and into that Holy Spirit that exists inside of every one of us. Piece of I. Every time I look into somebody's eyes, I think of a creation that our good Lord has made, and the possibilities are endless for you and I. And as creative beings, as children of God and members of the throne, I just feel so empowered that we have this backing. We have this inside us, this internal feeling of super awesome amazingness where, you're limitless and powerful and have a purpose. So I just feel like that divinity in me honors that divinity in you. And I wanted to share that good news with you as I'm learning about it. And a testimony, I wanted to testify about his good news and how he continues to show me each and every day. I live in awe and wonder of his works. As I had shared with you in some episodes past, it took me 2 years to finish the English version of the Bible, but I did it, okay? I took my time, I internalized it, I pondered upon it, I talked to my peers with it, my pastor about it, you name it, I've left no rock unturned, and it just felt so wonderful to have read that book. Reading is like one of my favorite things to do, by the way. So it came pretty easy to me, but to stick with it and have that goal of completing the Bible from the Old Testament to the New just really felt like a good accomplishment. And I was sharing that online, and a dear friend of mine, sweet Jody, that listens to me, and we have great godly conversations, heard that I had finished reading the Bible. But what she did not know was that I was kind of struggling in the interim. I was like, okay, what do I do now? I read the Bible. Do I read it again? Do I start from the beginning and just start over? Do I really have to read the Old Testament again? I didn't really understand a lot what was going on there. I was like, geez, I'm not really quite sure what to do now. So for the couple of weeks that I was in that position, I was reading Sarah Young's daily affirmations, and that was bringing a lot of positivity and encouragement. It was speaking to me on a soul level. And so that was feeling really good. And I also opened up a purpose-driven life, that it takes you on a 40-day adventure of how to become the best Christian you could possibly be. And it was transformational for me the first time I read it. So I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and read this another time through, because it gives you a lot of Bible excerpts and gets you familiarized with some of the stories in the Bible and applies them to your real life. So started there, and that was working for me the 2 weeks. Well, last week when I was at the farmer's market, Jody, sweet love, whose birthday was the next day, with her sweet giving heart, personally hand-delivered a Bible to me, a new version from it was a version, it's the Bible and all the verses, but it is, has excerpts and explanations by Joyce Meyer. And I don't know who all knows Joyce Meyer, but before Jody, I was not familiar. I'm actually reading Unshakable Trust that Jody had given me from Joyce Meyer and had introduced me to her work. But apparently, she is this wonderful child of God who has an amazing story and shares the good news all over the world. And she is on television, she is on podcasts, she is everywhere in the Christian world, and someone that, you can really look up to as she is so good at sharing and relating to people. So Jody had delivered this Bible to me that was explained by an everyday woman that it goes through and explains. So right now, it was like, testify. I'm like, Jody, how did you know? I was looking for the next step on my relationship with God and how to strengthen that and where I should go next. And she hand delivered this Bible, and in there she wrote a sweet inscription and some more encouragement. I think it was like, love, love. And I just think it's just a wonderful testimony about how God works. And he told Jody that Bible, that I needed that Bible and that she should deliver it to me on that day where I really needed it. I don't want to say needed it. I was really heartfelt and appreciated. And it just felt like it spoke to me on that soul level when I was like, wow, thank you. Thank you. That was awesome. Like, you can't make this stuff up. She didn't know that I was lost, or I didn't know where I was going, or maybe I just needed some direction. But isn't that what friends are for? I feel like angels are all around us. They're in our midst. And this was just another testimony that I could be here to share with you. So I love hearing testimonies, by the way. That is like one of my favorite things. I feel like when I hear testimony, it could be from the smallest testimonies to one that's like earth-shattering, life-changing, whoa. And sometimes it brings me to tears. Sometimes I'm laughing. Sometimes I'm crying and laughing. But I just love hearing your testimonies. So please, if you have a testimony that you would love to share, please DM me or figure out a way to call me, hit me up. And testify together, because sometimes you need someone, a good ear to listen to. And I'm getting to be a better listener. I'm really practicing and trying with his help always. And kind of, clearing that energy for people and helping people work through things to realize that these are all acts of God and he is around us at all times. So testify with me, brothers and sisters. And if you don't testify to me, go ahead and share your truth and honor that wonderful insight with your brothers and sisters, with your community and your friends and family. I highly encourage you to share, because sharing is caring. And it's just a wonderful thing to keep spreading the good vibrations and speak, wonderful things in existence and inspire others to do the same. Because if you can share, then they can share, and then everybody's sharing, and this world is just such a brighter, more beautiful place, because your perspective is your reality. So keep the good vibe going. That's how we can heal from our past traumas. That's how we can overcome negative patterns. That's how we can liberate ourselves from our own beliefs and be redeemed. It's that restoration of faith that we can achieve together when we come together as one love, one heart, one vibration. And that's just such a beautiful thing. And I think that's what he wants. I feel like love put God before anything else. That's the first commandment. And the second commandment is love thy neighbor more. Love thy neighbor more than you love yourself. And so as numero dos, like right underneath God, like not to love yourself, not to worship your ego, not to keep massaging, your own thoughts and your own pride and, chase fame and glory for yourself. It is to love thy neighbor. So that means love one another. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. And so a lot of that's just by listening, but don't be afraid to share too. Share your powerful testimonies. It's a beautiful thing. And I'd love to hear more of them. So keep them coming, people. I would love that. And that kind of is a great segue into where I'm going with this podcast. I've said it from day one, and I'm still on that mission. We are on episode numero 24, as I said earlier. And I think when Sunshine and I had first started this podcast, we said that our first episode, which we decided was going to be 24 episodes, would be her and I talking about cannabis, her and I shedding light on hemp, her and I talking about our wonderful products and where you can find them online anytime, or from our retail partner page if you want to shop local. And we wanted to kind of build that relationship with our listeners, with our viewers. And we thought by episode number 24, we would really have achieved that together. And I feel like by now you've gotten a really good vibe of myself and what I'm about and what this mission on the show is going to be. And I'm not stopping anytime soon, folks. So buckle up. For episode number, for season number 2, after episode 24, and you might, okay, hold on, before I get too far, you might be like 24, like why 24? Because 2/4 or February 4th is National Hemp Day. So that's kind of, I feel like we're obsessed with 2/4. And oddly enough, I see 2/4 everywhere. It's a very powerful number. 2 + 4 = 6. It's one of the divine holy numbers of 369, where everything is infinitely connected. Or in one of those number loops. But I digress. 2-4 is also mentioned a lot in the Bible, at least like where my eyes are very attuned to it. So I don't know what it is with 2-4, but we thought 24 would be a great stopping point for just her and I. And for season number 2, we would like to bring on our High Vibe tribe to the show and make this thing go mobile. So I have a little recording device and a couple microphones that we can mic up, and we could really be anywhere talking about high vibrational, awesome spiritual goodness. We could talk about plant medicine. We could talk about your gifts. We could talk all about you, and more you, because I'm done talking about me. I mean, I might do some solo episodes here and there, or where I need to be, where couldn't line up an interview. Just give me grace and mercy as I figure this out on episode 2, or if there's something earth-shattering that I just need all the space for. But I really want to pass the mic to my loved ones, my friends and family, my kids, their friends, anyone who really wants to be on it, because we're all children of God. We all have the Holy Spirit inside of us, and we all have something to share. And I just feel like a platform where we can do that and testify is just so aligned with the mission and the values. And then we can share secrets, and we can share them with our friends, and maybe make ourselves a little uncomfortable by doing new things. And that is great, because that is where the magic happens. Like, he wants us to be uncomfortable. He wants us to do not be afraid and try something new and keep creating, even if it is content. Because the way I see it, my mission is, sometimes I'm putting myself out here and I talk a lot, I talk really fast, or my hands are crazy, or my eyes might be a little crazy too. But if I can make one person smile, if one person gets one thing out of this whole operation, then my job is done, and I'm giving it to God. It is not mine. Let them and let me. Okay. So that's my mission, is to bring that peace, love, light, and unity, and share the good news of our good Lord and plant medicine, specifically cannabis, because this is my gift. This is the mission that I've been bestowed upon in this point in time, is to grow premium buds. And I just love to do it. I mean, you should have seen me out in the field harvesting these hemp buds. I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, I was like driving around on the UTV, just like pulling up and like snipping them off and like putting it in my little bin, and then I was just laughing and smiling and giggling the whole way to beat the band. And then before I would clip them, I would say a prayer and give grace and homage, and, I really admire all their beauty and the different coloration and everything that's going on with these beauties, because it's a lot. And so I would admire them, love them, smell them, say a prayer, ask for permission to harvest, and honorably, harvestly, sustainably grown. I was really just proud to do. Anyways, here I go again talking about hemp. I can't help it. I just can't help it. It's just so wonderful. Oh, makes my heart happy. But anyways, that's my gift. That's what I love to share. And please let me know if you have any questions, concerns, need any help, recommendations, if a sounding board. Testify about how this plant has helped you by leaving us a Google review. That would be amazing. Or tell a friend, share with your buds, share with your loved ones, pass it on. I feel like a lot of the people that use my products are something that they heard about it through word of mouth, and their neighbors, their friends. Love thy neighbor and don't covet your plant medicine, because believe you me, there's enough to go around. Okay, and I'm working on you being able to grow your own if your heart desires, and that's what you want to do legally. I know some of y'all are taking matters in your own hands and doing that too, but we don't talk about that. But hey, it's a beautiful thing. So anywho, this is my gift. This is what I love to share, and that's what has created Sunshine and Bubbles podcast, and involving the High Vibe tribe is the next step. So step right up. We are open for business. I have a couple microphones, and I will come to you, or you can come here at the farm in Farmington, Wisconsin, if that is so desirable. But I'd like to keep it in person for this season number 2. Because I really feel like that one-on-one connection and, having those intimate conversations, person to person, face to face, is going to bring a a level of vulnerability and motivation to some people that's going to be really inspiring. So it is going to, and so I'm going to start with my community, with like my epicenter. So, I mean, top of mind people that I want to bring on here. Of course, Nevaeh wants to come on, my daughter, since Nixon came on, and she's like, Mom, I want to do that too. Then I want to bring on my husband, Danny, the big D, Danny Schaefer, where this whole passion project started. I always got to give hats off to my husband, because without his brawn and motivation and insight of getting stuff done, I would not be here. So thank you to my dear divine savior who bestowed me with Danny Schaefer, who has always been supportive of all my dreams as I am his. So we make a great team. He's coming on here. My mama Cheryl needs to come on here. Then my Aunt Arlene, who's the OG Earth Mama, comes on here. And I'm sure Kelly Sunshine's got some people that she wants to bring on here. My flower-loving dragonfly princess, Pretty Rachie, is coming on. Pretty much all my best friends are coming on. And we'll just start there. And then that doesn't even begin to begin to scratch the surface of all the healers that I have met on this journey that truly are gifted and share their gifts on the daily and making this world a better place. And I want to invite them on the show. And also my retail partners that have been on the front lines with me, answering the questions, putting in the good work, and offering these beautiful products. If they're open to it too, I would love to have you out on the show and talk about your business and the beautiful and wonderful things that you have got going on in the community and how you're spreading the peace, love, and light. So bam, I think we're just getting started, folks. Woo, woo. And, giving myself grace and mercy, without Kelly Sunshine, she did a lot of behind the scenes. She did the blog posting. She updated the website. She uploaded the products. She sent out the emails, everything in the universe. And I, of course, helped with the socials, but I'm learning all that. And so I've been learning to give myself a lot of grace and a lot of mercy and know that, hey, the only person putting pressure on me is me. And the only one who can judge me is Jesus. So let me is what I keep telling myself. And then when all else fails, I ho'oponopono it. And I'm like, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you, dear Lord Jesus, for giving these opportunities and this time. Even though it was so hard to sit in this chair today, I feel like my laundry list is a mile long of things to do for winterization on this farm and what I could be working with the plants and outdoors are my true sets my heart on fire. But communication is key. And I just feel so compelled to share the good news. So that's where we're going with the show. I hope you like it. I'm open to ideas. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to all that this universe has to serve. And I think that was really came through on this new moon. Who else felt that new moon energy that was happening here? It is a new moon in Libra, you guys. And whoa. By the light of the new moon, when I was working here on the farm, I found a salamander. And I don't know if some people call them mud puppies. I don't know if you know what a salamander is. If you've ever seen one, but it's like these little black lizard looking creatures. And this one had blue spots on it. I had never found a blue spotted salamander before. All the salamanders that I found in years past in recent encounters had yellow spots. But they are like the fire creatures because it says that they're so resilient, so tough that they can withstand, they dig themselves so deep in the dirt that they can withstand fire and they come out ahead. And so finding that salamander on the new moon with sunshine, walking this path of, going on alone and having sunshine, of my soul extension, have her energy be somewhere else. And it's like not losing my best friend, but figuring out how to move forward. And that's what the new moon is all about. It is letting go of the past and stepping into the present moment and looking forward to the future. And I was like, what? Because finding that salamander was just such a gift. And again, in awe and wonder of, when you look up the spiritual meaning of a salamander, my mind was blown. I found salamanders in the past and I know they're special. I know they mean a lot, but being that the salamander represents rebirth, I was like, wow, I feel like I really have that opportunity right now is for the rebirth, letting go of any fears or doubts that I can't do this on my own. I'm not worthy. I'm not capable. I'm not. And then stepping into that, I am courageous. I am capable. I am creative. And I am gracious and treating myself as such. So, whoa, passing through the fire without being consumed, unburnt, and resilient. And I think that's what you and I are, friends. We are unburnt and resilient because it is not our plan, but with our purpose. It's one day at a time, step by step, day by day, not putting too much pressure on myself and giving it to God because, hey, I'm here. I'm alive. I'm well. I have food to eat. I have clothes on my back. I have a wonderful, supportive husband. I have healthy children. I have it all in terms of everything. So I'm so happy to build on that together and share that with anyone out there who's willing to lend an ear and listen, and could use a little bit of encouragement. So, whoa, salamander, new moon in Libra, buckle up, buttercups. We're coming out of the eclipses that were happening. There was like 4 of them that happened back to back. So that was crazy energy. And I feel like that's what like October was. And in September, you're like, whoa, why is this happening? What's going on? Like, just give it to the moon. It is, blame it. Not that you're trying to find something to blame, but honestly, like, we are affected by the lunar cycles, and that's just how God has it designed. So just breathe. His spirit is in you. It is in your breath. Just remember to breathe, and this too shall pass, and all things are working together for good. Ha ha ha. Woo, ha ha. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I love that. I love the new moon, and by the light of the new moon, I have been following Free the Music Ministry on Instagram ever since probably Earth 5 Music Festival that happened in July. That's where I'd like at first been like the seed was planted into my feed. And I was really like honoring like what Free the Music was doing for people. And it was taking, everyday people and empowering them to put their thoughts onto paper and into production, into motion, and possibly perform. And I'm like, well, ever since I joined the worship team at church and singing, it's felt so good. It's felt so wonderful to use this voice, this tenor voice that God bestowed on me. Another one of the beautiful gifts, we'll call it. I don't know, but since I'm pretty confident, I just am belting it out there on the stage. And I'm like, you know what? I might not sound the greatest, and that's okay, because I'm not going to sound like you. You're not going to sound like me. We're all different, but it makes me feel good, and I'm giving. And to sing his praises through song and being put in this position of giving the glory to God during church, like, how could I say no? So saying yes to the calling has felt so good and so aligned for me. And that's what Free the Music Ministry is all about. And so since I've started, been learning a ton of new Christian songs. Oh my gosh, my binder of new music has just been filled up. I'm learning new songs. I'm on the worship team every other week because I don't want to burn you out, which is great because we all lead really busy lives. But, I've started dabbling into songwriting on my own. So, journaling is a big part of meditation and kind of writing things down so you don't forget them, because it's all noggin, as smart as I think I am, and I still need to write things down. So anyways, I've been like kind of exercising, songwriting and writing things down. And sometimes I'm surprised. I'm like, dang girl, like, where did that come from? Oh yeah, it didn't come from me. It came from him. Hey, thank you. And I'm like, I'm reading it out loud, and I'm like, hey, I don't know how this sounds in song. Mind you, I have no musical background. I love playing music, right? Like, I love music. I have plenty of funkified music instruments that a lot of them I don't even know how to play. I just play them. And I'm like, hey, this might sound good. Catch a vibe. And I think that's what my crystal sound bowls had really opened up for me. It's like, hey, anyone can play crystal sound bowls. You don't need any musical background to be able to play these and make people feel good and heal from it and heal myself and, and in turn heal other people. Anywho, another one of my favorite musical instruments too that I collected along the way. I love the tambourine. So I feel like if I could bring anything to a band, it would be the tambourine. And then it'd go into like different shakers. This is one of my favorites because it's actually from a turtle. Like, way to pay homage to this turtle and like redeem it and to use it into something awesome. So anyways, I digress again. Anywho, musical instruments, writing music, no formal background, joined Free the Music Ministry. So every week they have Zoom meetings where you get together and I wrote it down. It's creating collaboration and courage come alive for artistic evolution. Ho, ho, ho. So I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I joined. And the first meeting is tonight. And none other than Tubby Love, who was at the Earth Vibe Music Festival, who I've fallen in love with his music. It kind of awakened something in my soul a while back. And then I had the opportunity to witness him live and in person. And that was a beautiful thing, along with many other like-minded individuals that we're all vibing and jamming to. It was beautiful. So he is kicking off the performance and production piece of Free the Music Ministry tonight. And I'm excited to hear and learn and listen to what he has to say and ramble on, sing my song, and hear other people's beautiful soul songs too, because it's this conscious music. It's this conscious music collective. And that's like pretty much all I listen to, from Sat Song to Nako to Sam Garrett to Trevor Hall to Sierra Marin, you name it, these artists. And it's funny because when I go to Cheryl's Club and look up any of these artists on the Touch Tunes jukebox, no, I can't find any of them. So I don't know if this conscious music is like an underground thing or what, but people need to waken up to it. And I am so excited to be part of the movement, join the revolution, and create and share in just another way. And of course, y'all know that your girl is going to make it about Jesus. And I feel like I'm in the right place because Free the Music Ministry, I feel like it's just another way in service. I actually feel in my heart, and I wouldn't do it if it wasn't aligned with this, that I feel like in my heart, when I join this by the light of the new moon, in which the Bible talks a lot about the new moon, not so much full moons, but the new moon. By the new moon, I joined this so I could help spread the good news of God, of good news of our Lord Jesus, Savior, our Savior, Jesus Christ, our Savior. So that's what my music is going to be about. And also connecting the dots with Mother Earth. Wait, no, it's got to be like alien hands. Oh yeah, I'm going to alien handshake myself. Yes. So I feel like this evolution is going to connect Mother Earth of what I'm doing, at the farm with the divine mission that God has bestowed on me on growing plant medicine and sharing them with the community, along with the gospel and singing and places in worship, and combining those two and creating something super special. And I don't know if I'm going to ever share it or I'm going to deliver it or what, but I had this crazy wild seed be planted in my head, and I shared it with none other than mi madre, Miss Cheryl, aka Cher Bear from Cheryl's Club 175, and my mom, my biggest fan, my best friend, the one who's always encouraged me no matter what, and she is strong, bold, and fearless. She is a boss babe and a force to be reckoned with, and I cannot wait to harness her voice and her power, because I messaged her and I was like, hey mom, like, wouldn't it be awesome if we created a song together and sang it at your club? And she was like, yes, that sounds like fun. And I was like, let's do it. I was like, let's do the darn thing. So I feel like by joining this Free the Music Ministry, it'll give me the tools to create the song so I can write it with my mama. And it just so happens that we have a club, a stage, an audience to share it with at Cheryl's. And that is the testimony of awe and wonder how Jesus works by putting us holy ladies that are God-loving women in charge of a business who the community loves and adores us. We love and adore them. We've been in service to the community for 26 years, as we talked about here. but to put on our own show. We're going to be the dynamic duo. And I just feel like I got my voice from my mother. She always was singing. Growing up, I remember her. She has a song for everything. She is always belting out a tune, and she has got like the Janis Joplin, like deep tenor voice. So, and she still smokes cigarettes. So I feel like her, not that it sounds wonderful. It's just like this gravelly, rough, soulful voice. And I could just listen to her the whole way through. She's just a wonderful person. So even to like empower and encourage my sister, my mother, to get up on stage and share her voice, share her gifts is going to be such a lovely thing. And I'm so excited to be a part of it. Oh, speaking of like my crazy instruments, she also gave me this. And does anyone know what this is? Here, take a listen. I love this. These rain sounds are so soothing, and she actually got this from the jungle. And it was just sitting at her house, and she could see me playing it and using it, and she knows I'm on this musical journey. And she's like, "You want that, Ashley?" And I was like, "Yes." She's like, "You can have that." And I was like, "Yes!" So I just wanted to share that with you. Yes, this will be in the band. And I'm also recruiting band members. So here's me having no formal background. I know I want it to be the duo of my mom and I, and it could just be an acoustic set, but I mean, I'm pretty sure we need someone who knows how to play the guitar or play some kind of instruments or a really good sound guy. So, or woman, sound woman. I mean, I am all about that female power. So anyways, hang in there, buckle up. Thank you so much for listening. I'm looking over my notes here. I do try to stay organized. This is proof. Testify. With all the things that I want to talk about today, with the farm update and the show and redemption and the new moon and the rebirth and the direction for the show. Oh, one more thing that I want to just pass on before I sign off here is I want to invite you to church. I want to invite you to come witness God's glory with us at the New Life Church off of Highway D in West Bend. If you're in the area, I know some people are like, "Wait, lady, I'm nowhere near that." And that's okay. I understand. But for those of you that are, and it all is physically possible, I just want to put an invitation out there for you. I know it's not Easter. I know it's not Christmas. I know it's not even Thanksgiving, okay? But these things are coming up fast, and you're invited those times too. But I just wanted to put the invitation sincerely to my heart, from my heart to yours, to come out and join us at church. Just sit in the chair and take in the worship. It is wonderful. There is nothing like having these tools, these songs in your tool belt throughout the week when negativity and Satan tries to work his way into your life, because he's a sneaky little snake. But it has been written that Jesus crushed the head of that snake, and he only got the heel, which was Jesus dying and redeeming us for our sins. Whole other thing I'm reading in Genesis right now in the new Bible that was explained. Aha. But anywho, these songs, I get so much out of them. This week's song, there's the Praise You Anywhere, which I began this with. And it's just like mantras that are in your head throughout the week. So when all this craziness and you think you're spiraling out of control and you forget to breathe and you forget to prayer and you forget that there isn't even a God up there, maybe this song is going to find its way into your noggin, and you can use it as a mantra to kind of pull you out of that negative spiral and into positive vibrations. So I feel like the worship, you could get so much out of it. And then when you start singing and using your voice and affirming that and speaking those wonderful prayers and blessings into existence, you're going to feel so good. And Pastor Aaron, who is there, and this is a non-denominational Christian church. It says, come as you are. You don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to be included in the fellowship. You don't have to drink the juice, the Kool-Aid right away. Drink the water, which is, him. But anyways, you can dip out if you want. You don't have to stay. But Pastor Aaron does a wonderful job connecting with everyday people as well. He's a truck driver full-time, works full-time. And in his service, he prepares these wonderful sermons that are very relatable, not over your head. He speaks right to you. And he's just a wonderful everyday dude that was come from a youth pastor background. So speaking to your inner child, speaking to your soul, and just, sharing his gifts by just going and telling it on the mountain as he so instructs us to do, and being fishers of men as we're also instructed to do. So he is heeding the call-in, and many hats off and blessings to him as he continues to show up week after week for his community. He lives like 45 minutes away too. So he drives from Waukesha to West Bend. No excuses. He's there on time. He's there smiling and happy to give. And I know he receives so much abundance and more, because the more you give, the more you receive. And that's a beautiful thing. So this is your personal invitation to come and worship our dear Lord Savior, or at least come worship with me. And I would love to see your sweet, smiling, familiar face, and squad up. Bring a friend, bring your mama, bring your brother, bring your sister, bring your aunts, bring your uncles, bring your best friend, bring your kids. They have a Sunday school program for the littles. They get dismissed and go, some dear person who's also in service to our dear Lord. It takes all types, teaches them a lesson about Jesus in a relatable fashion as well. And that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So now, if you will, ho'opono with me. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And with that, this was going to wrap up this episode number 24 of me solo. Next time, I'm hoping to be here with my bud, with my bestie, mic'd up and ready to share some more epic, awesome amazingness. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this with a friend that you think would get a smile or a kick out of it. And just thank you for listening, and thank you for being here. God bless you and yours. Now get out there and make it a wonderful week. Much love.